Alright, what's up, y'all? It's been a fat minute since I made a video, and a lot of things happened with the GPU mining basically dying. And yeah, if you could tell what I'm looking at, this is a dual epic board. So you could see where I shifted to in my mining strategies, as you can tell. But yeah, Epycs 7742s, two of them. And I already built one, and it's chugging away. And I still got my 3900 X's, but I did sell a lot of my GPUs, and then I did buy 12 BC160s just because it was so fucking cheap. And I was like, ah, why not, YOLO? And it's sitting there off being useless. I considering turning them on to maybe spec mine Quai. I don't know how you say it, QUAI, just for the hell of it. Probably maybe just solo mine it, just cause, fuck it. But I don't think I will, cause it's only 1 cent profit, which is like, bruh. That's per GPU, by the way. So, anyway, I don't see any videos about Epycs on how to optimize these things to, have it mine more efficiently, which I'm very surprised by that. Which, let me pull this up real quick. So if you look on here, which if I remember, I will put this in the description. I was testing it, pretty good, and he got like 130 efficiency. I don't know where he got that. Did I even say his name? Rapid Mining. Everybody knows who Rapid Mining is. So he got like 130 efficiency on his dual Epycs, and it's the same exact CPUs. It is a different board. It seems like it's a lot worse. Like I got these boards, two of them, like for a really good deal, $300 per pot, but it was a 4 parts sale, but it basically worked. I had to bend some pins back and whatnot and clean the socket because they had some goo in it, which was fun. And I don't think these have VRM issues like he has, because I could touch it with my bare skin, which don't do that, that's stupid. But yeah, those boards are fucking goated. It's like the ASRock something. I'm gonna pull that up later. But they're really good boards, and they're like $1,000 per pop, which is crazy. I would sell them and then just get a worse board, but with fees and stuff, I decided just to keep it. And honestly, motherboard prices do go up at a certain age, so maybe it'll stay alive and I can sell it then. Anyway, I kind of went off of a tangent. So I was testing this shit out, trying to get it efficient. I did 176, alright, for efficiency, or 0.176 hash per watt, which is like 36-ish more than what he had, which is pretty fucking good. And these are the BIOS config I put right here. I'll kind of show that how to do that. Let me get this out the way. There we go. And I did test RAM configurations up here because I was curious, and yeah, it gets so much worse with less RAM you get, which really sucks because RAM is expensive now. Like 8 sticks of RAM, just 4 GB. I think it was 2400 megahertz. They're like fucking $200 for 16. It's horrible. So yeah. So these are the motherboard I was mentioning to, an ASRock rack, Rome 2D16-2T dual socket, whatever. These things are fucking expensive, bro. Like, it's insane. And one thing I learned is that don't get a P series just for trying to test a dual motherboard, because they only work on single socket, which is really annoying. And yeah, 233 for 16 sticks of RAM, 4 GB, and what is it? 2400. Yeah. Disgusting. There are some caveats when it comes to Epycs that I learned on the way when I was building these things and trying to configure it. So one thing is that in the BIOS, if you put the AC power loss, when it goes on, so it just turns on automatically, yeah, it doesn't just work. You have to also go into the IPMI and change it on there too, which I'll show how to do all that once I'm done building this, which we're gonna just speedrun this shit. Unfortunately, this one right here, the the plastic kind of broke and it kind of split, so this one could easily fall out. So I need to be careful putting that in. I would replace it ideally, but I don't feel like waiting a week or so just to get this stupid ass plastic, so we're just gonna throw it in there and hope for the best. One thing I like to mention that I worried about when I was first doing this is the torque. So I didn't have like a torque wrench or anything to do like the specific, I don't know what you call it, just the torque, the right torque, amount of torque. Is that, I don't even know what the unit's called. Is it torques? I don't know. But anyway, I just use my weak hand and I don't force it at all. I just do it just a little bit. And when I feel good amount of resistance, that's when I stop doing it. And there is these numbers. I don't know if you can see it. It barely shows 1, 2, and 3. So when installing it, I do 1, 2, 3, and just do it little by little over and over again. And when I'm uninstalling these things, you do it 3, 2, 1, and you just do it just a little bit at a time. And what's weird is these railings right here. So you pop these off, and then you slide that right into here. And on the first build, I accidentally dropped the motherfucker right into the socket. So I had to unbend those pins again, and it still surprisingly works perfectly fine, which is a miracle. And some issues I did have was not detecting RAM right, and it's usually a pressure issue with these things. So I usually just this is the CPU coolers, just unscrew them and then just unscrew this and take it out, take it back in, and screw it back. And I basically do the same process with these, but with the screws. Same amount of strength. You don't force it. It's just, you know, just do it until you can't do it anymore, but not forcing it, if that makes sense. So yeah, let me put this one in, and I'll be right back. Alright, everything's in, so I am speedrunning building this. I'm not really making a tutorial on how to do it, because, I mean, there's tutorials out there already, so I'm not too worried about it. Now we just need to get the thermal paste, and what I like to do is do an X, and then 4 dots on each one, so let me go do that real quick. Alright, there's thermal paste. It's probably way too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough, so yeah. Now let's just put the CPU coolers on. I'm going to just throw on the RAM, and take the packaging off the power supply. 80 plus platinum, by the way, you know. Not skipping out on anything when it comes to money. Besides the RAM, I guess. And yeah, I'll just have it all built up, and I'll see you on the BIOS screen. Before we go to BIOS, one thing I do want to mention, which I kind of mentioned already, is separating the pressure when you're screwing things in. So these are spring loaded. So what you want to do, I do this on all CPUs really, CPU coolers, is do it crisscross basically like an X, and then you do it just little by little until it just can't do it anymore, but not forcefully not do it anymore. You know what I mean? Just, yeah, okay. So I guess a better way I could explain of how much force to use on screwing these things is that I only use my finger strength. I don't use my arm or anything, and I don't even use it like at 100% either. Probably like 50, and it's not going anymore, so that means it's good enough for both of these. So now you need to put the RAM in, and yeah. So everything is set up now. I got my GPU to temporarily see what I'm doing, and I like to connect it through that and use it like a camera on a laptop because I think that's the most convenient. And alright, let's turn this bad boy on, and hopefully, I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be 2 lights somewhere. That green light and a green light there. Yep. It's probably going to be different on whatever motherboard you use. I don't know if they would even have the green lights. I don't even know if they would have this nice, very nice code error thing. I fucking love these. Wish they put it on more. But let's trip it. There you go. Is it trip or short? Short it. Yes. Now this takes a fat minute. I guess on the first boot, it tries to train its memory or something. It takes a fat minute. And usually it counts down from like 80 and stuff. And I think that's to give the BMC, which is like a integrated computer inside of this. It's like a computer inside of a motherboard. It's interesting, and that's what controls the IPMI, which is this thing right here, which you use that to access to basically have like a second BIOS, I guess you could say, which we do need to do something on there in order to get this thing on automatically when the power goes out and stuff. So I will show you how to configure that, which is honestly kind of inconvenient, but I could see the use for it for like real servers, but for my case it's just an annoyance. So if we go over here, as you can see the countdown that I mentioned, 63, 62. So we're just gonna have to wait on that. I could cut the video, but I guess I could just talk, you know. What's the word? Yapping. Yes. And just admire this beauty. So my I guess my perspective on crypto did change a bit after a while. I feel like chasing all these shit coins like I did before is just it's such a waste of time, honestly, and most likely they'll just die and become obsolete, obscure, you know. I mean, sure, there's a 1% chance that it could become something, but the amount of headache and I don't know if stress is the right word for it, but having to worry about all that and keep track of all those crypto wallets, it's very inconvenient. So I'm kind of changing my ways of mining. So I mainly just mine Monero, basically, because one of my biggest regrets was not mining F at 2017 when I actually learned about crypto a bit. At first I thought it was just stupid and it didn't have a future, and here we are now. So yeah, one of my biggest regrets was not mining and hodling, basically. And I was sitting here like, if I was in the future, what would I regret not doing now? And I was looking at all the coins out there that I could mine, and I was thinking, Monero, that's the most realistic thing I could actually mine that's big, you know, that actually has a market cap and stuff, and that might actually have a future. So yeah, that's why I'm investing a lot into mining Monero. And unfortunately, of course, after I put a fuck ton of money in these things, I spent like close to $4,000 for 2 of these, which actually isn't that horrible for, you know, what it is. But yeah, they made an X9 miner, Bitmain, those little bastards, that does like 1 mega hash, which is insane, for, I don't remember what the watts was. It was crazy efficient. Like that chart I showed you where it was like 180, it was around 400 for them. But they are planning, the Monero devs are planning to make RandomX v2 to help try and mitigate it, to make it less efficient. So I don't know, it might do something, it might not. It says AB, so it should show up a BIOS, but I don't see it on here. Probably because it's on the integrated camera. This thing is so... I should update my stuff, but I don't know why, but the camera app on here sucks. It just crashes. And I think it's just because of this thing, but I usually just use OBS and then go into properties, UVC, there we go. Now it shows something. Then I usually do preview. There we go. So it looks like I'm having issues. I don't know why. It's on A1, B1, C1, whatever. That would be this socket. So I could maybe... this is the one that has that plastic cover that's kind of fucked up. So it could very well be that. Yeah. It would be unfortunate if I have to actually replace that. But hey, it's still working right now. It's just not optimal. I don't want to put my laptop... Oh, there it is. Not my laptop. My keyboard. So I can actually do stuff. So right now, I'm just going to ignore that and hope it just still works while I mine it, while I show y'all what to do. Oh, Might have crashed. It's not responding to me. Huh. That's interesting. Let me pause this real quick and figure it out. Alright. So we got 64 gigabytes. That's correct. So it's seeing all of the RAM. So I had to reseat that CPU. It happens. Didn't use enough pressure or something. Not too sure. But yeah, here we are. And this, it refuses to work with this keyboard for some reason. What the heck? God dang it. I'm not really sure why it's doing this now, but it's giving me a B4, which ChatGPT says it's a USB thing, so I guess we'll just switch to a different keyboard. I don't know why it's happening now, and the other motherboard was perfectly fine with it, but whatever. Okay, third time's the charm, I think. Hopefully. Might be too early, but it's responding and stuff. So 64 gigs, everything looking good. AB. So what I did, I did reseat the CPU, and I took out this Wi-Fi USB thing. It's not needed, so that could be what's causing the B4. But I also did replace the keyboard to something else. That was really weird. So let's see. So when I was the thing I was talking about before with the power loss, AC power loss. Let's see where that was at. It's been a while since I looked at this. One thing you could do through here, so like performance, there are these custom core states and stuff, which this is where you could like change the voltage and shit. I didn't do that, but maybe you can get better performance through that. I am not a professional when it comes to this. I literally just chat GPT'd a lot just to figure out what to put. A lot of it's probably unnecessary, to be honest, because it looks like I like kind of optimizations for like if it was idle and just turning it off just in case it does it for some reason while mining, which probably won't. But yeah, I just did it and followed it anyway. So let's see. I'm trying to remember where you would. Let me think real quick and I'll be right back. It's been a while since I did this. Alright, so what I was talking about for the power loss on AC, whatever. Yeah, restore AC power loss. It says no change there, but on here it says the current state is power on, which that's what we want, but it doesn't actually power on, which is retarded. Because you have to do it through IPMI because it overwrites what it says. So you got to do power on. Like if you do that, it does nothing because it's already, that's the state in the BIOS at least. But the other little microcomputer that's in there, the BMC based on ChatGPT, that's what it's called, that needs to be changed. And if I go to AMD, I keep forgetting I need to actually aim my phone so you can actually see what I'm doing. Let's see, where was it? There's another thing in like FCH. There's something else about it. It shows that it's always on, but guess what? It doesn't work right because it's stupid. So yeah. So I actually pulled up the spreadsheet here so I could help y'all try and find or familiarize what some of these things are. Like NPS NUMA nodes. This is like, I don't know, something about organizing the memory with your CPU or some shit, if I remember correctly. Let's see. You go through AMD CBS, and then you go to, what is in here? No, I don't think any of this is. I think core performance boost, I'd disable that, right? No, it looks like you keep that on. Yeah, it says enabled right here. CPPC or core performance boost. Keep that on. It's on auto, and you can't enable it, so we'll just leave it as is. Yeah, there isn't really much to do on here. And let's see. This is memory shit. Don't touch that. UMC, this is also memory shit. So this is one big thing here. The SMU common options. This is where most of the stuff's are at. Determinism. Did I add that on here? No, I did not. This is one thing that we would want to put as to performance. Which, does it actually do something? I don't know, but it's there. Now there's CTDP control. It doesn't seem to do much, to be honest, but it did help me bump to that like one little hash per watt, that 0.001, but it is in like margin of error, so it could be doing something, it could not be, but I'm just gonna add it anyway. There we go. And now the most important one is, let's see, is like PPLC, something like that. Package Power Limit Control, PPLC. So there we go. This is what I'm looking at. Package Power Limit Control. Here we want this to be like, this is what mostly changed all these numbers for me. And this is like kind of like the power limit, or kind of like the ceiling of how much power each CPU can take, and it kind of automatically chooses the voltage and the clocks, which is pretty convenient. So, is it the best? I'm not sure, but it works good enough for me. So, yeah. And on that one, the green one, I used 160, so that's what we're going to put. And CPPC, that looks familiar. No. It looked like I didn't touch it. And yeah, it looks like that's about it through here. It's not a lot, but yeah. Yeah, looking through all this stuff is pretty annoying. I'm not sure where I found all that other crap at. Oops. Can't be any of this. What is in here? Oh, we don't need that. Those, no. It gotta be in through chipset configuration, right? Because, let's see. No. Where the hell did I find these things? It can't be any of these, but I'm just going through it. Gotta be through AMD CBS somewhere. Core performance boost. Oh, there we go. Global C state controls, we want that disabled. Then the DFC states, that disabled. And that's pretty much it. There's memory interleaving, but I think it was already set to auto. Let's see, what else was it? Global C state. I don't see. DFC states. I don't think it's going to be in any of this. Yeah. That's no. Oh, maybe it's in the DF thing. No. Oh yeah, the NUMA nodes per socket, we want that to set to 4. Memory interleaving, this is what I was probably mentioning for the memory stuff. We'll just leave, oops, let me do that. Leave that on auto. Yeah, I don't know where this C state thing is. DFC state? Oh, there it is, right here. Ah. And that should be everything. Let's see. If we go back to... Oops, let's click. So NPS, we did that. The global C states, DFC states, CTTPs, PPLCs. Yeah, that's basically everything. On this motherboard, I couldn't really see a way to undervolt the RAM, and I did figure out the AC thing, which I didn't type how to do on here, which we'll show how to do it now. Alright, so on here, what we want to do, so there's multiple ways to do this, but I'm going to just show you what I did. So out of band access, I turned that on. It's already enabled, but just whatever, enabled. So here, this is a LAN channel for the IPv4 because it needs the internet because you access it through like a little website thing. I don't have this connected at all to the internet, and I just directly connect it to my little laptop. So I do manual static because there's no server to give IPs automatically, and just press enter. 192. You could technically put whatever you want here, but I just follow. Oops, I'm using the wrong keyboard layout in my head. Try to do one hand. This is kind of annoying. Is that a dot? No, that's a comma. Dot 1.2. On my other main computer, I manually set the IP address to 192.168.1.1, and this one's .2, and then subnet mask. All you need to worry about is put 255.255.255.0, and don't question it, just do it. There you go. And you don't need a router IP access because that's not what we're doing. But if you connect this to a switch or whatever and just have it to your router and stuff, you could just use DHCP and let it do it automatically. And when you boot it, like reboot it, it shows like an IP on the bottom left when it shows like the splash screen. And you could just put that in your browser and call it a day probably. But I don't have that. I don't have that situated, and it's not going to be like that, so that's how I do it. So yeah, that should be everything. Out of band is on. Yep. So now all I really got to do is save it, reboot it, and then go on the IPMI thing, which I'm gonna go set that up real quick. So one thing I did forget to mention about this BMC configuration stuff is that you probably will need to load the BMC default settings, because let's be real, you probably bought this used, and they probably have their own settings and have their own password, which I went through that problem. So do this first, and then put your IP and your subnet in, and that out of bound access stuff, because it will restart that. And it did kind of make my like BIOS panic on the other one, which was weird, like lag and stuff, but I guess that's normal. It's not doing it yet, but yeah. So now, yeah, it's frozen now. Pretty sure that's normal. It says CC on there. So, and for some reason my laptop that I usually use to direct connect does not want to boot or work. Yeah, look, it just took a minute and now it's working fine. Yeah, it says out of bound access is still enabled. I guess that's enabled by default. I'm not too sure. Then I have to do all this again, which I'm not gonna have y'all go through that. Alright, so this is the boot screen. As you can see, the BMC IPv4 is in that bottom left, like I mentioned a while ago. So, okay, everything's set up. Let's see. If you look on here, there you go. And annoyingly, that laptop wasn't working. So I'm gonna have to use this one instead. And I had to get a little adapter and all this crap. So I guess I might as well show what I did. So I did IP link and I try to find the right port. So we're looking for an Ethernet port, and that's usually the ENP yada 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 bullshit. So then do IP address or ADDR add. Then on this computer, I did 192.168.1.1/24, which is the subnet, same thing as that 255.224 in the BIOS, dev, whatever the fuck that means, and then the port that you have, and then that should just work. Oh, we forgot the most simplest thing, putting sudo, which trying to type with one hand is, yikes. Ugh. 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 There. God. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, trying to type one-handed on a different keyboard layout is kind of... There you go. Now I gotta... Oh my god. Let me just... Alright. Apparently I put it in wrong. Okay, I put it in right. It doesn't show anything. It just does that green text stuff, and that means it's basically done. So now I should just be able to type in the IP address, so 192.168.1.2, because that's what the BMC's IP address is. And it needs to be in HTTPS, not HTTP. Oh my gosh. Alright, so for some reason I don't think the command that I put in wasn't working, so I'm just doing it old-fashioned settings, network, yippee. And then that should work now. I can't really one-hand this. Control-C. Okay, I don't know why Control-C doesn't want to work. We'll just do that. 192.168.1.2. It should just ping to it, and it should say, hey, I'm reachable. What the fuck? Okay, I don't know what's going on. I just turned it off and turned it back on, and then boom, there we go. So now, I hate computers sometimes. It's just so dumb. Try again, and it should pop up. And you go advanced, accept it. Then it'll load in. Man, this video is way longer than I expected it to be. So the default is admin, and then it just forces you to change it to something. So yeah. Alright, I finally signed in. It's very simple. So now pretty much all you go to is probably power control, and then nah, that's not it. Settings, there we go. Power restore policy, and then here it says restored last state. We want that on always on, and then just save it. And then one thing I like to do is make sure the timing is right on here, just to have it right. I don't think it's necessary, but I might as well just do it. I don't remember where I did it at. It's not what, it won't be in sensors. Gotta be in settings somewhere. Fan settings. Oh yeah, you could do your fans here if you want to mess with that. Date and time. I don't know why I'm so blind, but yeah. So for me, it would be Chicago. That'd be the same time zone. And then save. Yep. And it kind of kicks you out or whatever from the website. And yeah, it's pretty much everything I need to do. So I should be able to just, yeah, there we go. It's finished. It says to do a new session or whatever. So everything should be done. I could turn it off, and then it should just, when I turn it back on, it should just automatically turn back on. But for some reason, It does not want to detect this M.2. This thing is giving me a bit of a headache. I don't know why. So let's just unplug it and plug it back in and see if that works. Alright, we're finally booted up in MMPOS. Yes, that's what it's called. So this port does not work at all, and I had to put in the other one. That's it. So I wonder if it's a pin not seating right or something on one of them, or what. Or it's just the port's dead. I don't know, but I don't really care. We got it running. So I'm not going to go through on how to set this up. I'm going to do that on my own. And yeah, I hope y'all like this video. It's been a long time, and I know this isn't very professional, but I kind of just want to tone down the, I don't know, professionalism in my videos like the other ones, and just casually record on my phone and call it a day, just to record what I'm doing. So yeah, please like and sub.